Hello everybody. Today we are going to study the 6th chapter of 9th standard geography, that is properties of the seawater. So we will start this. Let's recall which is the largest water storage of the world. So answer is ocean, because in the ocean we can find the largest storage of water. Why is the seawater salty? Seawater is salty because in that seawater salinity amount which is exists, that is more. Now in the earlier classes we have studied the tides, ocean currents with reference to oceans. In this lesson we will study the major properties of the seawater. So in the previous chapter we have studied about the tide, high tide, low tide, ocean currents. So but in this chapter we are going to study the major properties of seawater. Now we will see what is the difference in the temperature of the land and the sea. If we are talking about the temperature of the land, that we know that land is quickly become hot, and to make cool also land require less time. As the sun rise, then we can find after some time the land will be hot, the temperature on the land will increase, and as the sun set quickly the lands will be cool also. But it is not in the case of the sea, because in the sea takes time to become hot also and to cool down also. As the sun sets quickly, the seawater will not be cool, it takes more time to cool down. It's slowly getting hot also and slowly getting cooler also. Now next, what would be the difference in the temperature of the seawater from the equatorial region to the polar region? As we know that equatorial region, the sun rays are directly falling on the earth's surface, so that's why 0 degree there in the equatorial region means the torrid zone, there we can find more sun rays, means the temperature is more there. And to the as we are going away from the equator, though we are going north direction or the south direction, then we can find away from the equatorial region means the polar region, the temperature is very less. Now see, temperature is a major property of the seawater. The surface temperature of seawater is not uniform everywhere. This is depend on the different factors. So here it is said that temperature, it is the major property of the seawater, means that how is the temperature of that particular sea. So the surface temperature of the seawater is not uniform everywhere. Surface temperature means what? 0 meter depth to 500 meter, that is the called surface depth. So that surface water, it is not uniform, it is not same everywhere. The temperature, it is different from place to place, because if we will study surface temperature of the equatorial area, that temperature is more, and if we go away from the equatorial area in the temperate zone, then we can find the temperature is less. In polar zone we can find more less. So in this way seawater temperature is not, surface temperature is not uniform. Now see, latitudinally speaking, the surface temperature of the seawater decreases from the equatorial areas toward the poles. See, if we will speak about the latitude, then what is that? 0 degree equator. So away from the 0 degree equator, as we know that 23 degree and half, that is the north side, and 23 degree half and to the south direction. So this region, 0 degree to 23 degree north, 23 degree south, that region is called equatorial area or torrid zone. So in that torrid zone we can find more temperature, and after 23.5 degrees Celsius then we can find the temperate zone. Means north side there is Tropic of Cancer, and down south side there is Tropic of Capricorn. So these between that two, that is the equatorial region. So equatorial region we can find more temperature. The average temperature in the equatorial areas is around 25 degree. It is 16 degree in the mid latitudes, while it is about 2 degrees Celsius near poles. So 25 degree we can find in the equatorial areas. 16 degree it is mid latitude. Mid latitude means what? Temperate region. And polar region we can find 2 degrees Celsius, that is the less temperature. Beside this, cyclone, rainfall, sea waves, ocean current, salinity, pollution, conventional current, seasons, etc. also affect the surface temperature. Ocean currents also have similar effect on the temperature of the seawater. Here is saying that beside these, there are number of factors which is affecting the these temperature. So what are that? That is the cyclone. Because of rainfall, suppose there is a rainfall, then we can find, suppose it is continuous heavy rainfall, then we find change in the temperature will be reduced. And if there is no rainfall, then the temperature will be high. Same with the sea waves. If sea waves are entering in a particular area, so this area, suppose from the equatorial area to the temperate region, the sea waves are coming, then we can find in the temperate region that current means from the high temperature to the low temperature. Suppose sea waves are flowing, so then that low temperature, that portion become high because of the water from the high temperature enters to the low temperature. And suppose from the low temperature the water is going into the high temperature, then that high temperatures pressure means temperature, it will be reduced. So these way, rainfall, sea waves, salinity, pollution, these all things are the affecting the surface temperature of the seawater. See, in regions where cold ocean currents flow, the surface temperature of ocean water is less, while regions where the warm currents move, temperature is increasing. Means see, if the temperature, cold ocean currents are flowing, then surface temperature we find less, while the warm currents means due to the heat, due to the more temperature, that warm currents is moving, means the flow of the water that become heated, so due to that temperature will increase. Here see, the changes in the temperature of the seawater with reference to the depth in different latitudes is shown in figure 6.1. So we can see here 6.1. So it is the on the x-axis, it is the x-axis here, temperature in Celsius has given, and in the y-axis depth in meters are shown. So see, it is the surface, 0 meter, then 500 meter depth, 1000 meter depth, 1500, 2000. So like that depth of the sea has shown, and here temperature is shown 0 degree, 5 degree, 10 degree Celsius, 15 degrees Celsius, etc. So here see, this dot black color line, it is showing torrid zone. Torrid zone means what? Equatorial areas where the temperature is high, where the sun rays are falling perpendicular. Next is the mid latitudinal zone. This blue line, it is showing mid latitudinal zone. Here we can find less compared to the torrid zone, less temperature in this region. And this pink line, it represents the polar region, where the temperature is very less. So see, observe the graph. Here, sorry. Observe the graph and answer the following questions. So see children, you have to observe this graph, you have to study this graph carefully and whatever questions asked, you have to answer that question. What is the maximum temperature of seawater in the equatorial areas? How much is this temperature at the depth of 500 meter? So that is the first question. Here they are saying that in the maximum temperature of the seawater in the equatorial areas, it is, what is this? So if we will study equatorial area, that region is denoted by the this black and white strip, torrid zone. So 18 degrees Celsius, that is the maximum temperature of the seawater to the equatorial areas. And see, you can see here, because here 20 degrees Celsius has given, but this line is behind that, means 18 degrees Celsius it is. 18 degrees Celsius, that is, and at the depth of the 500. So you can see here 500 depth. So till the 500 depth, 500 meter, the temperature of the sea water is, we can see here 500, then we can call it, it is the 11 degrees Celsius. Can you see here 500, and this region, it is going away from the 10 degree. See the red remark, it is showing 10 degree, but it is ahead than the 10 degree, means it, we can consider it is the 11 degree Celsius. So that is the temperature on the depth of 500 meters. So next question we'll see. What is the temperature of the sea water at the sea level in the mid latitude? So temperature at the sea water mid latitude, we will study the mid latitude. Mid latitude, it is shown by the blue colors line. So here they are saying the temperature of the sea water at the sea level in the mid latitude is, it is, so here 14 degree, because it is away from the red mark, behind the red mark. So it is the 50 degree, but this blue line is not touching to the red line, 15 degree where it is shown, but it is behind that. So that's why 40 degree we can consider. 14 degrees Celsius, that is the temperature at the mid latitude. Now next question. How much this temperature change at 1500 meter depth, means 1500 meter depth. So here we will study 1500 meter depth. Here the temperature of the sea water at the sea level at 1500 meter depth is, so here we can see 1500, it is near about 5 degree, 5 degree centigrade. So see here children, mid latitude depth is shown 1500, so exactly 5 degree. Now next question. What does the thermal graph for high latitude says? What is its temperature at 500, 1000 and 1500 meter depth? So here we will see from the graph. If we will study the graph carefully, then we can say from the graph of temperature of the sea water, it is seen that the impact of the depth on the temperature of the sea water in the high latitude is nil. So see here, high latitude, it is shown by the torrid zone. So that is nil. It is 4 degrees Celsius everywhere, same 4 degree. But the temperature of the sea water even at 500 meter, 1000 meter or 1500 meter depth high latitude is uniformly 4 degrees Celsius. So if we will study high latitude, though it is 0 degree, sorry, though it is 500 meter depth, though it is 1000 meter depth, though it is 1500 meter depth, but its temperature is same, uniform, it is same everywhere, 4 degree Celsius. So pink line is stable, it is not moving, it is not curving like this torrid zone and mid latitudinal zone. After what depth does this, next question is shown, after what depth does the sea water temperature remain stable everywhere? So we can see here the temperature. So here till the temperature of sea water remains stable at 4 degrees Celsius after 2000 meter depth across the earth from the equatorial region to polar areas. So see here, 4 degree it will be uniform, same everywhere after the depth of 2000 meter depth. So that is the answer of this question. Now we'll study the next geographical explanation. While most of the sun rays radiate back from the surface of the sea, some of them penetrate to the center depth in the water. As a result, in the intensity of the sun rays decreases with increasing depth. So here it is saying that most of the sun rays they miss, as we are going depth inside of the sea, then we can find the sun rays are penetrating, means it is dissolving in the water. As a result, the intensity of the sun rays decreases with increasing depth, means as the depth is increasing in the sea water, then we will not find the changes in the temperature, because changes we can find to the near about 2000 meter depth, till that area we will find. Below that 2000 meter depth we didn't find, that sun rays is not reaching till that. The temperature decreases up to 2000 meter depth. After 2000 meter, the temperature of the sea water is uniform everywhere. It is around 4 degrees Celsius everywhere from the equatorial region to polar areas. The temperature reduces only up to 4 degree Celsius according to depth, and therefore the water at greater depth does not freeze. So here is saying that if we will study these depth, then we can find till the depth of 2000 meter, there we can find the some changes in the temperature, but below the 2000 meter depth, means after the 2000 meter depth, we did not find the changes in the temperature of the sea water, because the temperature of the sea water is same everywhere, it is just 4 degrees Celsius, though it is equatorial region or though it is polar region. So the temperature reduces only up to 4 degrees Celsius according to the depth, and that's why the depth greater depth the water does not freeze. The temperature of the sea water changes rapidly with the depth at the equatorial areas. So see, the difference in temperature is lesser in the polar areas. If we will see the surface water on the equatorial areas, then we will find temperature more, and as the depth will increase, then changes will be there in the equatorial areas, but we will find the less temperature, less changes in the temperature in the polar areas, because polar areas surface to the more depth, 1000 meter depth, 2000 meter depth, we will find the same 4 degrees Celsius. There is also difference in the open sea and landlocked sea. As the salinity of the landlocked sea is more, the temperature of these landlocked sea is higher than the open seas. It is true for low latitudinal areas. Here they are saying that the difference between the landlocked sea and the open sea. What is the meaning of open sea and what is the meaning of landlocked sea? So see, open sea means what? The sea, it is it is not restricted by the all the sides of the land. Means there are some places where the landlocked oceans we can find. Landlocked ocean means what? See, where four sides we will find just land. So here we can see sorry, so here that blue color, it is showing that sea, Mediterranean Sea. In the Mediterranean Sea, it is surrounded by the land all the four side, so that's why here salinity will be more. Extremely sorry. So here salinity will be more, but here if we'll talk about the Indian Ocean, so it is the India's map. Here Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea. So here three sides there is flow of water, means just one side it is restricted by the land. So here salinity will be less and here salinity will be more, because fresh water it is coming, means entering, that amount is very less here. So here they are saying that as to so in the landlocked areas we can find salinity will be more high, and in the open sea salinity will be reduced. So think about it. What would have happened if the temperature of the sea water near the seabed would have gone below the freezing point? So see children, as we say that uh, the temperature will be 4 degrees Celsius at the depth. But if the seabed, if it is freeze, if the temperature reduced to the freezing point, then what would happen? So the marine life will not exist there, because everything will be freeze, and these all the animals, creatures find in the bottom of the sea, that will die. So see, recall, why is the taste of sea water salty? So children, see here, as the rivers, many rivers are meeting to the sea, so when the rivers are flowing, that time the amount of salt, it is already mixed in that water. And when that all the rivers, they are meeting, rivers and their tributaries meeting to the ocean, that time that all the salt which is dissolved in that water, that coming into the sea with the river water, then due to the evaporation, due to the these features, that which kind of sea it is the landlocked sea or it is the open sea, it is also determine the salinity. So it is the landlocked, then fresh water amount will be very less, evaporation will be more, and due to that salinity will be more in the sea water. What are the reasons for the high salinity in the oceans? In the oceans there is a high salinity because of this thing, same thing, because of that, means as I told you, that lack of fresh water. If there is a no current flowing of the fresh water, if there is a less rainfall in that particular region, evaporation is more, temperature is more, due to that salinity will be increased in the ocean. What is the use of the salt in the ocean to us? So that salt is used for various purpose, which we find in the ocean. It is used for the eating purpose also, in several uses of this salt. How can we obtain the salt from the ocean water? See, there are salt pans formed at the oceans. So due to that salt pan, we are getting the salt. So see, geographical explanation. Salt is used in the food we eat. Salt is also used for making various chemicals and medicines. Salt is also used to preserve things. For longer period, salt is also used in ice factory. Why didn't you use the salt in activity from lesson 5? We obtain salt from the salt pan. So here they say that salt is used for various purpose. It is used for the food purpose also. We are taking salt in our food. We are using the salt in various uses, means for the preparation of the medicine, preparation of the chemicals. Even salt is used for in the various factories to store the food for the longer time. Salt require to prepare the ice also. Salt is required, we have seen in the fifth lesson activity. Now see, here it is said that the buoyancy of the sea water increases because of the salinity. This is useful for water transport, but if the salinity is more than bearable limit, the life in the water gets destroyed. So here is saying that if there is increase in the salinity increase, and that this is useful for the water transportation, but if that more salinity is there, then it is dangerous, risky for the life, means marine life. So try this. Note to the teacher: keep the water safe from drinking with respect to health. One thing, the water in the container is only for testing, not for drinking. After testing, ask the student to uh, rinse their mouth with clean water. So okay, here what is the activity given? See, take 1.5 liter of water in a big container, put 100 gram salt in it and stir. So here is saying that near about 1.5 liter, means 1.5 liter we have to take water, and in that water 100 gram, that much salt we have to mix properly. Now take 3 container of the same size. To identify them, put 3 dots of different colors on them. So see children, same size 3 container or 3 bowl we have to take. Whatever water is there, which we miss 1.5 liter of water it is, and in that water we have mixed 100 gram of salt. So that water we have to pour in that 3 container. We have to give 3 different color for the identification. Then put the water containing salt equally in the 3 containers. Make sure that containers are half empty after filling the water. So we have to pour the water at the same amount in the 3 container, and the container should not fill completely. We have to keep the container half empty. So test the water of the 3 container. Keep one in the sun outside. Cover it with meshed lid. Then keep the remaining 2 in the classroom. Cover them with the net lids too. Put half of glass of fresh water daily in one of the container in the classroom. So here they said that 3 containers we have to take, and that in the 3 containers same equal amount of water we have to pour, and one we have to keep outside in the sun, in the open area, and 2 containers we have to keep in the classroom. From that 2 container, 1 container we will pour daily half glass of water. Then we have to find out the difference. We have to cover that with the net. So see here what is said. After 3 to 4 days, bring all the containers together at one place. Observe the level of the water in all the 3 containers. Test the water in all the 3 containers. Experience the difference in the test. Write about all the 3 tests in one line each. So children, see, we one container we kept outside of the classroom, two containers we kept in the classroom. From that two container, one container we did not touch. The water was same how at the first day we have kept, but in the third container daily half glass of water we were adding. So then after 3 to 4 days we have to take the test. So in just we have to see first what much amount of water is there in that three container. Container A which we kept outside, that water will very less because of evaporation, because it is kept outside, and due to the sun, due to the heat, that water will evaporate and very less water will remain in that container number 1. Container number 2 which we did not touch but we kept in the classroom, that also water little reduce. But third container which we are adding daily half glass of water, that container water will be more. And if we'll take the test, so first A container, that water will be more salty, because of evaporation the water has evaporated, and but salt is not evaporated, salt is the same, so it will be more salty. B container, so that is also salty, but compared to the A1 it is very less. And third container where we are adding daily 1/2 glass of fresh water, so that container we will find very less saltness, means the salinity will be very less, because day evaporation is also less and daily fresh water also adding to that. So due to that the saltiness of that water will reduce. So answer the following questions. In which container has the water increase or decrease? So in the container number 1, that is decreased, water is decreased, and container number 3, their water will increase. What would be the reason behind increase or decrease? So there is number 1 evaporation process, number 2 due to the heat, due to the more temperature the water has evaporated, and due to that the water is decreased, and increasing because of adding, we were adding the fresh water, and due to that the water increase. So what could be the reason behind the low and high salinity of the water in the container? So see children, as just now I have explained, because of the evaporation in the first container salinity will be more, because water has evaporated but salt is not evaporating, salt will remain there, the salt which is dissolved in that water, so that water's amount will be reduced but the salt will be remain the same. Due to that salinity will increase there. But if there is adding the fresh water, due to the fresh water that salinity will be very less in that water. Same with the sea also, if the fresh open sea is there, fresh water is adding, then salinity will be reduced. But if the sea is landlocked, no chances of fresh water, less rainfall in that region, temperature is also more, and due to that salinity will be increased. So geographical explanation, you must have realized that because of the sun's heat, evaporation happens at the faster rate. Evaporated water turns into vapor and reduce in quantity, but amount of salt remains the same in the remaining water, and therefore the salinity of the water increases. Same which I have told, because of the temperature the water has evaporated, and but the salt did not evaporate, salt will be remain the same. As the amount of the water is reduced, so that's why salinity will increase. In seas where the rate of evaporation is high than the supply of fresh water, salinity is high. In seas where the supply of fresh water exceed the rate of evaporation, salinity is low. So fresh water is mixing, that's why salinity is low. Salinity is not affect much in the seas where both supply of fresh water and evaporation of the water is low. So supply of fresh water is also less, so much supply is also much, but evaporation is less. salinity is not affected much in the seas where both supply of fresh water and evaporation of water is low. So okay, if there is no means not more supply of fresh water, and but saline evaporation is also less, so due to that we will not find much effect on the salinity of that sea. Think about it. If we collect all the salt in the ocean, its weight will be 120 million ton. If spread it on the earth, it will form a 150-meter thick layer, almost equivalent to the 14-storied building. From where how these salt came in the sea? Suppose from the all seas we have collected the salt and we have spread it on the earth, so the 150-meter thick layer will form. 150 means what? Near about 40 stored building. So that much heighted layer will be formed. So here they are asking from where this all the salt came into the sea. So that salt is came from the because of the rainfall, that the minerals is dissolved in the water, same water salt is also dissolved, and that is what all the rivers are meeting to the seas and oceans, so there is the more. So here it is said that, so here we have seen. Now we will take information about this. Always remember, how is the salinity of the seawater measured? The weight of the dissolved salt in the water in ratio as parts per thousand of water is called the salinity of seawater. So if we are measuring the salinity, if we will measure the water, so here is said that water is made in the kilogram, then we will find the parts per thousand of water. So that salinity, how it is see. For example, if weight of the dissolved salt in 1000 gram is 1 kilo of seawater. If we will take the 1 kilo of seawater and we have seen how much amount of salt is dissolved, then we will find 40 gram. Then the salinity is 40 parts per thousand. So here we have to pronounce it is parts per thousand, that is 40 per thousand parts. Hydrometer, refractometer and salinometer are also used to measure salinity. So in this way we are measuring the salinity. Remaining part we will study in our next session. Thank you very much.